Hello, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to some part of the world. My name is Prashanth Nair, and we are back again with another edition of Football is in Your Blood podcast. Today, we have a very set of special guests because the game is very special. We are going to face Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid, or if I have to put in other terms, it's Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. And it's a clash of two of the most attractive teams in world football defensively, which they were known for quite some time. And with me today, we have Soumyanil and Tathagata who are representing Atletico Madrid, and we have Chirantan and Sayantan who are representing Chelsea. Without much ado, I'll straight away ask this question to Chirantan first. Chirantan, when you think about Atletico Madrid and Chelsea, right, there are a lot of common things in these clubs, how they are set up defensively. Historically, Diego Simeone was once, rated as someone who would take Chelsea's job. Look at the players who played for, right from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Thiago Mendes, Morata, Torres, Felipe Luis, so on and so forth. And not to forget, Thibaut Courtois was moved to Real Madrid later. If you look at the history of both the teams, this promises to be one of those ties which I think almost everyone in Europe is waiting for.
Yep. I think this was the one tie Chelsea fans did not want when they topped the group, right? Atletico is definitely the best second place team that was there in the draw. It was really bad luck that we got them instead of anyone else. And they've been phenomenal this season, right? Historically, what Simeone is what Mourinho used to be at one point of time, right? But this year, he's been very, very different. He's actually revamped the system, and Luis Suarez has been this fox in the box, which he's always been. And Philip suddenly has become the player he was supposed to be last year, right? Suddenly, 120 million looks like a worth it for him, which was not the season. So yeah, that way, Atletico definitely are on an upward swing. Having said that, had this match been happening on 23rd January, I would be way worse off mentally than what it is today. So much better run compared to what it was back then. Let's see. The good thing or the bad thing is the fact that since it's their home tie, they would try to score a goal at least, right? And hopefully that gives us some chance to go behind. And there are enough injuries on the right hand side. So Trippier is not there, and I forgot. I think Savage has just come back, so he's also not fully match fit, right? And like off late, they have been little off the boil in the sense. I think they've got like 5 points in last 4 games in league or something, which is very uncritical like in this season. But again, in a big game, Simeone has been a master for a long time. So I fully expect them to be 150%. Let's see how we do about it.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Simeone's best friend is Jurgen Klopp at Anfield, and I so like that. When Atletico Madrid traveled to Anfield, where they literally dropped their guards, and when Liverpool fans went berserk saying that that's negative football, etc., etc. What I remember thinking at that point of time is, if I was Diego Simeone, I would have done the same. When I am facing an attacking trio of Salah, Firmino, Mane, I would drop my guards. I am not going to play an open football. Once the game goes into defense, then I will see where who stands tall. But having said that, Chirantan, you've raised a very valid point saying that this is not the Diego Simeone what we know of. And I'm going to straight away go to Soumyanil. Whenever we speak about Diego Simeone, we always say, he'll park the bus, he will wait, he will tire you, he'll frustrate you. One chance they'll get, they'll score somewhere or they'll play rough, etc., etc., etc. But this Atletico Madrid know to play football in only one way, which is attack, defend, attack, defend. There's a constant balance in this Atletico Madrid lineup. Is it just because of arrival of Luis Suarez or the backup right back who suddenly slotted in and everyone has forgotten that Kieran Trippier is banned? Is it a mix of all that?
Mainly, it is due to the new assistant coach Nelson Vivas, who has joined the ranks in place of Herman Burgos. Also, the transfer of Thomas Partey affected a bit, and all of a sudden centre backs like Mario Hermoso has slotted in very perfectly. Carrasco is playing the best football of his life. Trippier is a constant threat at the right hand side with Llorente combining up on the flanks. All has contributed to this change in system. Simeone is previously used to his 4-4-2, and now we are playing in this 3-5-2 formation. Also, we shouldn't forget about the contribution of Thomas Lemar in this attacking setup.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you pointed out a couple of points which I really want to take it forward to Tathagata. And in that sense, what I want to understand is that you have a backline of, let's say, Oblak, Savage, Felipe Luis Hermoso, and Lorente. Then comes Jeffrey Kondobia, who I think will be one of the key players into watching this Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid game. But if you were Simeone, and since the first leg is at home, how would you approach the game? Would you want to, park the bus in the first instance, or you would say, you know what, it's at home, I'll score 3 goals because I don't know what's going to happen at the bridge. So I'll move from Soumyanil to Tathagata. What do you think? What would Simeone do in the first instance? Would he park, or would he just say, just boys go for the kill?
I think we should start defensively because we have Madrid derby coming up, and also we have we are at the top of La Liga, and the gap is reducing day by day. So we should concentrate more in the La Liga, and for the UCL match, it's same. Both fixtures are away matches.
Now I'll move from that to Sayantan. The Thomas Tuchel came at a point where Chelsea were a bit of a struggle. Right now,
Yep.
Chelsea suddenly have seemed to found a balance. I'll still not say this is the Chelsea team which can play great football or attacking football, but the Chelsea team looks like a balanced team. If you were approaching this game, right, what would you think? Because Chelsea are going to play United after the Atletico game. They're going to face Liverpool away. They're going to host Everton at home, Leeds United away, and then back Atletico Madrid on the 17th or 18th of March. So you're going to face teams who are quick, who will thrive on counter attack, and who will not give you a second chance if you make a mistake. And yet the Chelsea defense is still not looking very solid. With Thiago Silva not traveling to Atletico's game, you already have a bit of panic situation there. So how would you approach the game? Wait and watch, or just go for the kill?
I think under Tuchel, what we have seen is that the team is not panicking even if it's under pressure. So it's playing out from the back. Even under pressure, they're able to do the counter attacks. What I think is that Chelsea under Tuchel would look to get a score draw or a draw in this match. Manage the injuries. You might see a lot of rotation also happening over the next few games, considering the thin backline we have due to the injuries. And you might even see Zuma starting tomorrow if Christensen is not fully fit from the muscular stiff muscles that he had for which he was left out of the last game. I think Chelsea will take the game as it comes to them, but they will play it in a cautious manner, not to let in a huge number of goals, because I think the home and away game, though it is there as per the UCL norms, but without crowds, that effect is not there. You don't really have a home advantage except for the score lines. So basically, it is a tie of, it's like a two-legged FA Cup tie, if you may look at it. So Tuchel may want to play it a bit safe in the first leg and manage the team, and if he can get a decent result, try to nick it on the second leg. And one more thing, I think it is time for Timo Werner to shine now. It's been a long time. He's been looking at him playing in the last 2 games. We can see a bit of form back. So I would bet Timo Werner to come good over the couple of ties with Atletico Madrid.
As much as Sayantanda, I want Timo Werner to shine. I really hope he starts shining after the United game. I don't want him to shine before that, because with United's defense, anything can happen. So from that point, I'll move to Chirantan. Chirantan, what would be your predicted 11 for this game be?
I think back three is pretty sure. That is a given. I'm going to play a three at the back with so it'll be Mendy, it'll be Aspi, it'll be Rudiger for sure. At the center, it will probably be between Zuma and Christensen. I think Christensen is favored because of his ball playing abilities, and Zuma, anyways, is not very comfortable playing three at the back, playing the center CB, right? He's more of a left CB sort of a guy. So that you saw in the South game where he kind of shifted towards the left. So therefore, it's probably Christensen who's preferred if he's fit. Centrally, it's going to be between Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho, two of them. Definitely is going to play, because unless he's having some health issues, because he is the best ball carrier of the lot. And Kante, if there is destroying required, which I don't think would be required at least in the first half. So probably what you'll have is you'll start off with Jorginho and Kovacic, with trying to control the tempo. And 60, 65th minute onwards, you'll have Kante coming in place of either of the two. And then there is, of course, the wing backs. I personally don't like Alonso, but then as far as wing backs go, there are few better than him. So he'll pretty much play. And the right wing back is a question mark because whatever happened with Hudson Odoi in the last game, you don't know if it's going to be James or Hudson Odoi who starts, right? Front three, I think it'll be pretty sure it's going to be Giroud and Timo Giroud. And
you think Giroud will start over Abraham or Werner?
No. I'm saying Timo and Giroud will definitely start. Timo would be playing off the shoulder of Giroud, basically. So the idea is to get Giroud take one defender out, right? And with Jimenez not being there and with Carrasco not being there, it's not the first choice defender Atletico has at this point of time, right? So therefore, someone like a Giroud who can take a man out is definitely going to be high up in the pecking order. And the third attacker probably will have. I definitely expect Mount to be there because he's the first name of the team sheet. Ashby being the captain, but he's pretty much playing like the captain this season. So let's see how where Mount plays actually because he's been the best player for a while now and has the most energy. So if Timo is playing up front and Giroud is not there, Mount will be playing as a false nine just behind him and to get those runs. If Timo and Giroud are both playing, then Mount plays a little deeper and a little more centrally, trying to work with the wing backs. And you will expect that Timo playing with the left wing back, which is Alonso, and Mount playing with the right wing back, which is either going to be Reece or Cho.
Fair enough. So from Chirantan, I'll move to Tathagata. So in your case, right, how would you line up against Chelsea? If let's say that if Chelsea decide to play defensively, which they're not good at, but still they might try to play and park the bus like they usually do because, like I said, they have a host of fixtures where they're going to play against counter-attacking teams. So they will want to save their best and they will say, you know what, Atletico, come to the bridge. I know there is no Jose Mourinho who says I'll not lose at the bridge, but still, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge is still a very difficult team to beat.
If Chelsea plays defensively as well, I'll go for 4-4-2 because against the recent matches which we have played, other teams were playing defensively, but we conceded in the first 30 minutes. So by counter attack, that's why 4-4-2. So the wing backs which they have, Reece James and Marcus also, so that they can't get in from the sides. In the last match also, the defenders, wing backs of Levante were getting in pretty easily. So that's why Versalco in the right, left side Hermoso, and in between there's no other option, Felipe and Savic. And in the middle, we'll go for Lemar.
Excuse me, sorry to correct. Versalco is not there. Versalco is injured. Most probably, Ricard Sanchez will. The Atletico B team right back will slot in. Ricard Sanchez.
Okay. So fair enough. So just from Soumyanil, thanks for reminding me. Which means if I was the manager, how would I plot it? I'll have Oblak, Jan Oblak, obviously, Savic, Felipe Luis, Hermoso, Llorente. In the middle, I have Koke, Kangdobia, Sol, Lodi, Felix, and Suarez. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. It's pretty good, but I would have played Hermoso and Savic in the middle, Lodi on the one side and Ricard on the other, and go with a solid midfield of Koke and Saul. They are tried and tested, and on the right it's obviously Llorente, and on the left maybe Lemar, and on the front Suarez and Felix, no doubt.
Fair enough. So in that sense, right, both the teams, I think, have got an even match. I'll not say which is strong, which is weak in that. Straight away go to Sayantan. Sayantan, what are your predictions for this home tie of Atletico, like which is your away tie? What are your score predictions for that and for the overall tie as well?
I think if we can get a 1-1 in this fixture with an away goal, and then maybe a hard press to 1-0 at home, that should be fine. Not many goals, but yeah, KG affair.
Okay, fair enough. I never lose at the bridge is what Mourinho said. when he was managing Inter, but then things have changed. Things have changed a lot. So,
Yes, absolutely.
Chirantan, what do you think? Do you agree with Sayantan that you are okay if you get an away goal, but then you will welcome them at the bridge and then show it?
I don't want to make statements like this is Anfield, come to Anfield types. We've already got in this. So, but keeping aside, I think we need an away goal for sure, because what happens is with Simeone, if he has the away goal luxury, he will just keep bombarding you, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
essentially one away goal means 2 goals in such a tie. If we go
Correct.
0-0 to the second leg, so definitely getting a goal would be important, and a 1-1 draw or even a 2-1 loss, I would not mind, honestly, because as long as you have an away goal, because then
Because
even
that
though the
gets
second
cancelled
leg is
out,
long
right?
way away,
Yeah, that gets cancelled out with
yeah,
a 2-1. You still know that you have a chance.
yes, yes. So like I would want the tie to be alive, and that's all there is, because uh, what happens is in 20 days time is a function of how the matches go in between. So Atletico have their tough ties, right? They also have Villarreal and Madrid derby and so on, and we also have United, Pool, Leeds, Everton, everything. And either team has the momentum, especially if Chelsea has momentum at their home ground, things can be very, very different. So
Yeah,
as long
true.
as that team is alive, I think I'm pretty much at peace, along with an away goal. So
Fair enough.
we'll see.
You're just saying that just make sure that it's not a Barcelona versus PSG kind of a game. At least make something alive so that you can come back and play the bridge. Having said that, Soumyanil, what are your predictions for the tie and for the home fixture and the total tie?
Yeah, yeah. As I said earlier, I would like to go for a 4-4-2, and the best result we could get out of that match is a 1-0. 2-0 is a whole lot of comfort for Atleti, and Atletico don't play with a lot of comfort in the second matches. So we'd like to get in a goal and shut the doors, and play the away match strategically according to Tuchel's need to attack our defense, and we can then counteract easily.
Fair enough. Tathagata, what are your predictions for it? Do you second with Soumyanil or do you have a different one?
No, in the home fixture, I have a different one. I guess we'll concede, but we'll win 2-1, but we'll concede somehow. And I said second leg, in the first leg, and in the second leg in Stamford Bridge, we may get in a 1-1 or a draw, something like that. But in the first leg, we are conceding surely. The defense like that, I have no hope.
I hope you
Fair
get
enough.
a 1-1 draw in the second leg, and we go through on the away goals.
Sayantan, you want what PSG did to you some years back. You just want that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, scrape through this one.
That hurts so bad, man. Like we lost 2 games in the whole season, and we were out of Champions League. What the hell?
Yeah, I
You know
know
what-
there's no such home advantage in these no crowd stadiums, but Atletico had been impeccable at Wanda Metropolitano the whole year since that
Actually, like
COVID has started.
besides the crowd, you know what, Somajit? Like I think we miss out on a spinal part, which is, every ground has different dimensions. Okay, the length, even though is fixed, the width is always
one.
different. Like there's always a 1 to 2 meter difference, and that basically makes a difference of a ball across coming to the first post or the second post or going too long.
Yeah, Chirantan, we know all about that. We had been playing at Vicente Calderon all these years. We know how that ground is totally different.
Just to add to Chirantan's point, right? There is a reason why I smiled when you said Turin, because our record in Turin is great because the pitch in Turin is wide. United are always known to have teams with great wingers. That's one of the reasons why we defeated Sociedad, because of the pitch being wide. Had the game been played at Sociedad, it would have been a very narrow pitch, and it could have been a different result, because with Manchester United, you don't know which Manchester United turns up on what day. Only God knows it. Anyways, guys, before I wrap up the whole podcast for today, if you guys had to pick one player to watch out for in this whole tie, if you think, if I was thinking from, let's say, a Chelsea perspective, if I think who's the X factor for Chelsea, that's for me is Reece James. He's the X factor between both the teams because the kid is special. You will not find a kid who's so hungry to run, to track back, to score goals. So if Reece James has got good two ties, right, good two legs against Atletico Madrid, it will be a very difficult, it will be a different Chelsea team altogether, if I have to put in simple terms. So I'll go to Chirantan. Who is your player to watch out for in both legs? From Chelsea perspective, of course.
On form, it will be Mount. because the guy's been running on the badge and running on some random fuel, which is he doesn't get tired. Touch wood, right? On form, it'll be Mount and Kovacic. But yeah,
Okay.
if you ask me about X factor, it will be between Reese and Hudson-Odoi, because those guys have very high ceiling, but not as consistent. So if they show up, it makes a different team altogether.
Fair enough. Soumyanil, who's your player to watch out from Atletico?
For me, is the man who named his dog Anfield. is that time of the year again? Is that time of the year again? The man is a machine. He's the midfielder with the most goals and assists in La Liga. That I can say.
Llorente.
Marcus Llorente.
Fair
Danger.
enough. Yeah, fair enough. Sayantan, who's your player to watch out for?
I think I would agree with Chirantan that both Reese and Mount are the players to watch out for. But I just hope, and I have this gut feeling that Werner will turn up big time in this time. I just
The
hope
German
he turns
sniper,
up.
right?
Yeah. That's about that.
Fair enough. Tathagata, who's your player to watch out for?
Now, it will be a mistake if I don't name Llorente. Obviously, it's Llorente. And I also want Lemar to perform well and show that he can score goals. But it's always Llorente. The way he's performing, even deflected goals are getting in, which is a luck factor for Atletico. As Leipzig, what happened, we know. We used to concede deflected goals. Now we are scoring deflected goals. So it's Llorente for me, obviously.
Fair enough. I didn't want to hear about Leipzig because that's one team which I hate the most as of now because they knocked us out of the Champions League. But having said that, everyone named their X factor or the player to watch out for. And, I'm pretty happy no one has named Luis Suarez. And probably that's why I think he might be in for a big game. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot. It was lovely chatting with you. I honestly hope may the best team win. And I really, really hope that, we all I can actually go to the stadium and watch matches and UEFA no longer have to do this, that Atletico play at Hungary and, Chelsea obviously play in London. But, I really hope that, things get normal and, the Champions League music is something different, which sadly I wouldn't know. Thanks a lot, people.